Business email compromise, or BEC for short, is a cybercrime that can cost organizations a lot of money if they become victims. In this video, I'll cover what BEC attacks are and why they can be so dangerous. BEC attacks usually start with criminals hacking into email accounts and using them to pretend to be someone they're not. The criminals will then use the hacked email accounts to impersonate C-level executives, finance teams, or even suppliers. Their goal is to trick employees into making large payments or changing the payment process to send funds to a scammer's bank account. The most common way the email accounts are hacked is through a phishing attack. Since the BEC criminals are going after specific email accounts, this is considered spear phishing. I cover phishing in another video in this course. So BEC attackers typically combine phishing, social engineering, and financial fraud to pull off these scams. And it's likely they'll soon add another technology to the mix, deepfake audio generated by artificial intelligence, to make the request even more convincing to the victim. I cover deepfakes in another video in this course. BEC criminals will sometimes try to use spoofed emails where the email header is forged to look like it's coming from somewhere it's not. Or they'll use lookalike domains to try to make their email look legitimate. While these methods of faking email senders might be easier than hacking into an email account, they aren't as effective at tricking the victims. Variations of BEC attacks include the false invoice scam, tricking the finance team to send a vendor invoice payment to a fraudulent account; payroll diversion, tricking HR to change the direct deposit banking information for an employee to send salary payments to a fraudulent account; CEO fraud, tricking the finance team to send an emergency wire transfer for the CEO which goes to a fraudulent account; the gift card scam, tricking the victim to buy gift cards for staff or clients, then send the serial numbers of the cards to the attacker; and homebuyer fraud, tricking homebuyers into transferring funds to a fraudulent account. While BEC may not be the most common cybersecurity threat, it is easily the most costly type of cybercrime. According to the FBI, losses in the US alone to BEC scams in 2021 were nearly $2.4 billion. That's up more than 30% from the year before, showing that BEC attacks are effective and increasing. And those losses are just in the US and just from the cases that are reported. The worldwide losses are much higher. The huge payoffs, ease of execution, and low risks of BEC attacks are attracting criminals all around the world. Because it's so attractive to attackers, we can expect business email compromise to be a big part of the cybersecurity threat landscape well into the future. Because business email compromise, or BEC, has characteristics similar to phishing attacks, some of the ways to protect against it will overlap. In this video, I'll cover these as well as some unique methods to protect against BEC attacks. First, like with phishing, you can protect against BEC by implementing email filtering controls on your email server. This will help prevent email attacks designed to trick users into giving away their credentials. And because BEC attackers will sometimes try to spoof legitimate domains in their emails, consider configuring email protocols like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC to reduce this type of spoofing. For instance, DKIM can be used to reject emails where the displayed domain doesn't match the domain of the originating email server. Mike Chappell gives a good overview of these protocols in his CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst Plus course on LinkedIn Learning. Next, enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA, especially on email accounts. This will significantly reduce the chances of an attacker taking control of an email account with just a username and password. Once enabled, never disable MFA. User security awareness training is another important protection against BEC attacks. Train users about these attacks and that they should be suspicious of urgent-sounding or unusual emails that request transferring funds. Show them how to spot lookalike domains used in emails. Teach them to confirm these financial transaction requests out of band, meaning through some method other than email, such as calling the person or meeting with them directly. And any change in payment instructions should be verified, no matter how it is sent or who it comes from. Another way to protect against BEC is to add a warning banner to emails coming from outside your organization. Marking external emails helps warn users that an email spoofed to look like it's from someone within the organization really isn't. Then train users to understand what these warning banners mean and why they're important. If you or someone in your organization is a victim of a BEC scam, you should contact your financial institution immediately and tell them what happened. In some cases, money transfers can be frozen or canceled. Next, if you're in the U.S., report the crime to your local FBI field office. If you're outside the U.S., contact your equivalent law enforcement agency. Also, if you're in the U.S., file a complaint with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center at ic3.gov. Business email compromise is a growing problem on the cybersecurity threat landscape. Take the steps described in this video to reduce the chances that you or your organization will become a victim of a BEC attack.